called computer. Okay, so hello everybody. I'm sure that we'll have some people sign in during the session. Really excited and happy to see you all from all over the world. I see many good friends that I met during this 1 year and a half that we have the Global Chamber. And after I was thinking, I started to think that we need to celebrate the formats that we established 1 year ago exactly, the Metro Meetup and the Cross Metro Meetups, and we have more than 40 sessions, more than 40 meetups and events during this year, which I'm really happy. And it's not only the Israeli Metro, it's also you all that helps and support. We have a lot of collaborations and I'm really happy to see you. This meeting will be a little bit different because it's special. We have people all over the world here, a lot of EDs that I'm working, EDs, the executive directors. We have guests here. And what we're going to do is Yael, our Metro member and advisory board members that are dealing with import-export, will give us a 20 minutes presentation, professional presentation with some, and emphasize challenges and solution if somebody wants to work with Israel import-export. And then we'll have mega networking. All the EDs will have time to present themselves, the Metro, where are they from, and open for collaboration, networking opportunities. And of course, we will have some testimonials. And afterwards, we will go to our weekend very happy, all of us, hoping that we'll have a good connections, good referrals. And if there is somebody that doesn't know my rule, the rule in our meetups is the chat box never stays empty. You have to put your details, you have to ask for referrals, and I urge you to do networking. So this is the whole principle of the Global Chamber, to create networking. And I don't want to take much of the time. It will be a little bit more than 1 hour, somewhere 1 hour and 10 minutes, 1 hour and 15. But I think it's worth it, and a lot of people can be beneficial from this kind of meeting. So let's start with Yael. Yael is our Metro member and advisory board member, and Yael will give us some insight about import and export to and from Israel. Yael, the stage is yours. You have 20 minutes. Good luck.
Okay, you see my screen? Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for joining. And I'm very glad to be here and talk about the import and export challenges, solutions, and tips. I will tell you also about regulations in Israel. My company handles full solutions end-to-end for your import and export. When you get prior knowledge about the import and export, it's very important to calculate all your steps ahead and to be prepared when you want to start a business that deals with import and export. And that's what I'm going to show you today, the most important things you should know before you start. First of all, what is the difference between import and export? When you do import to your country, you need to know the regulations in your country. When you do the export to other countries, you need to know the regulations in the final destination. And when you do drop shipping, that means you send goods from one country to another when your country is not involved, and you need to know the regulations in the final destination. If you plan your moves ahead, you can save up to 50% of your time and cost. Now, the most important thing to know is the AGES code. What is AGES code? AGES code means Harmonized Commodity Description and Coding System. The code is a 6 to 10 digit number that is required for all international shipments. And this number is used by customs to identify the product shipped across international borders. Now, why it is so important? According to the AGES code, you can plan your import and export process. The AGES code shows if you have custom exemption or you need to pay the custom. And also, it shows you how much custom you have to pay. For example, in Israel, the customs is around up to 12% from the cost, insurance, and freight. Also, the AGES code shows you what are the regulations. For example, if you want to import cosmetics products, then according to the AGES code, you need certificate for the Ministry of Health. If you want to import agriculture stuff, then you need a certificate from the Agriculture Authority, and so on. The regulations are very important. It's a little different from each country. In Israel, if you don't know the regulations, your cargo will be stuck at port. The requirements and the regulations and the final destination can really save you money and save you time. For example, if you want to import electronic stuff, then you need the Standard Institute certificate and you need the right documents and lab tests. And if you want to import food products and you know it in advance that the regulation that you need, then you can prepare the documents in advance. I had a client that needed to import a very complicated system, a communication system, and according to the AGES code, he needed U certificates from the Israeli Standard Institute and from the communications authorities. And I found a way to bypass some of the standards in order to import it and save money. So if the plan that they had, that helps you very much with the preparing of your process. Regarding sourcing suppliers, it's very important to know that the supplier that you find is verified and reliable. Some people try to find a supplier by the internet, but they actually don't know if the factory exists. So if you need someone professional to really look and see that there is physical factory, that your supplier is reliable, that is verified, that the factory is original. For example, in China, most of the people you find on internet are actually agents that are not working in the same factory. They're outside of the factory and they're only agents, and the product cost is higher when you use an agent. Also, you have to know that the supplier meets the requirements and has the right documents. For example, if you want to import food to Israel and the supplier doesn't have an ISO, you will never get the certificate. Also, you need to know if they have a production capacity. Maybe this factory is too small and it can't actually produce the quantity you need. Shipping terms. Regarding shipping terms, all shipping terms will have an effect on your insurance. And this will help you calculate the product value. It will save you shipping time and cost. It will help you plan your moves, and it will reduce the insurance cost. I had a client that called me and he sold to someone else around the globe. He sold CIF, and that includes insurance. But when I asked him if he arranged the premium, if he paid that, he said, no, I didn't, because I didn't know what does it mean. So if you don't know in what terms you're buying or selling, you can actually absorb expenses. For example, there are more shipping terms, but I just took few of them in order to let you understand a little bit about it. For example, FOB, free on board. That means that the supplier will bring the order to the port in his country. For example, if I buy FOB China port and I have a $1 for the product, FOB, That means the supplier is responsible to bring the goods to, for example, Shanghai port in China, and my responsibility is to ship it from the Chinese port to Israeli port and to be responsible for the insurance. And if I don't know that and I'm not going to pay the insurance, I'm not going to arrange it, then if something happens to the goods from China to Israel, I will have to absorb all the damage. And that costs a lot of money. X works, CXW, that means that the supplier will leave the goods in his factory and I have to arrange the goods from the factory to the Chinese port and from the Chinese port to an Israeli port. Now, the supplier doesn't have any responsibility about insurance. I have to arrange the insurance in this case, and I'm responsible to the inland freight from his factory to the Chinese port and from the Chinese port to Israeli port. And when you get, for example, $1 export in China, if you don't know that you have to arrange the inland transportation and you don't add it to the value of the goods, then actually you don't really know how much the product costs. And it's not $1, it's much more than that. CIF, CIF, cost, insurance, and freight. When you buy CIF, that means the supplier is giving you a price that includes the cost, the insurance, and the freight. And if you know that, then you know that the responsibility is on the supplier for everything. DDU, delivery duty, unpaid. It's not really common, but we use these shipping terms too. That means that the supplier is selling you with the delivery and shipping and inland freight and everything includes and the cost of the products, but without taxes. When it comes to your country, you need to pay the taxes. Few words about myself. I'm Yael Cohen-Elias. I'm founder and CEO of the Box on Time. And my passion is helping people to reach their goals, business goals, and grow by removing the obstacles facing the export and import process. What you saw right now, it's just a little of the obstacles that are on their way. I have over 20 years of experience, and I'm dedicated to free your time and run your business. I want to tell you that I just had a client that actually he did the worst thing ever because when he called me, the goods were on the way. And he had 3 different products from China, electrical products and accessories for the kitchen that touches food. And he needed 3 certificates and he told me that the goods are on the way. And I told him, listen, what's gonna happen if you're not gonna pass the test and you need so many certificates? He said, I don't know anything about it. I just know that the goods are on the way. And I needed to contact the supplier in China and to really work very hard in order to get all the certificates. And that's the wrong way to do it. You need to do it in advance and prepare everything. Because if he wouldn't have called me, I believe he wouldn't have passed the test because we needed to really work very hard for that. And he could have lost his goods and destroyed 2,000 pieces, and really there was a full container. It's really complicated. So I suggest take someone professional to help you out when you want to start. Thank you so much, and let's get in touch. I have all my details over here, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Yael. And I personally experienced your professional in something that I have ordered. We have time for Q&As to Yael. So if somebody wants to have some Q&As, she's the expert on export and import things to and from Israel. And she's also well connected if you're looking to connect or to collaborate with some Israeli companies or you want to export things not only to Israel, but worldwide. So we have time for 5 minutes Q&As. If somebody wants to ask questions, just raise a hand and I'll give him the stage or her. Anyone? Yes, Limor, go ahead.
My question is, how do you deal with the supply chain crisis that is happening right now with all the delays? And do you have clients that are in delays? How the insurance take care of it?
Yes, it's a very big problem, and people, I have a client that is waiting for a place in order to export food to USA, and the prices are very, very, very high. And because of that, the premium, the insurance premium is also rising, and the shipping cost is rising all the time, and it's really very, very hard. Also, I don't know where exactly why there's a lack of containers and lack of places in the containers. So first of all, you have to pay so much money, and also you don't have room for your goods, and it's really, I don't know how they're going to do something about it, but it's really my clients are really having very, very big crisis now. Yes. And also all the natural disasters that's happening, it also gets to be the premium was rising also because of that, and the pandemic, everything.
I can only tell you what's going on in Canada, and just perspective to the containers. There is a shortage in containers, and China right now asked everybody who gets a container to clear it as fast as possible, and they give us something like 48 hours to start shipping it back, to bring it back to China. And as you know, US president opened, they decided to open the LA port 24/7, which was a surprise to me that it wasn't working 24/7.
I have information on that. We had a Global Chamber Los Angeles board meeting, and the Port of LA was in the meeting, and she said they have been actually working 24/7. The port has. The problem is the warehouses. So that's really where the change is going to happen. There's some other operational things, but they are making the changes so that they can, the system, the supply chain system can operate more effectively going forward. Just wanted to point that out.
Thank you, amazing.
The prices from China are the highest ever.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? You can ask anything about regulations, goods, electric goods, standards.
Quick question, Yael. What about the free trade agreements with Israel with other countries or group of countries?
Yeah, Israel have trade agreements with several countries. For example, we have free trade agreements with the USA and Canada. But also, when you have that, you need actually to arrange the right documents in order to get this exemption. We have an exemption for the customs, but if you don't arrange the right documents for that, you're not going to get it. So that's why it's very important to know before. We also have with Europe, we have some arrangements with China. Some of the goods from China also have exemptions from customs, but also you need to arrange the right documents and need that the supplier can supply it.
Okay. We also have Robert here. Robert is in the call, and Robert is expert in the free trade Israel-Canada treaty. So maybe, Robert, if you have 1 minute, maybe to comment, and if you can say something about this.
Thanks, Tal. Nice. I know a lot of you here, but nice to meet the people I don't know. On the free trade agreement with Israel, it's become quite interesting, especially on the technology side. I want to speak to specifically for agri-tech. Agri-tech is simply something that's moved over from life sciences or to artificial intelligence into the agricultural area. And we're seeing it, things that are this week with the experimental kidneys growing on pigs. Eventually, those sort of things will cross over into the agri-tech field, where we've taken a life sciences tag that monitors your heart and now using it now in livestock. So, and this is an Israeli-Canadian technology that is moving ahead in livestock fields around the world that was taken from a heart monitor or a systems monitor on your body for a set, and now put on the ear of a pig or a cow in a livestock or in a feeding lot situation, where if that cow or that pig instantly shows any sort of thing towards a fever, it is right away taken out of the herd, so that they're not culling like they did 3 years ago in China, where they culled 5 million pigs because they had swine flu, and it was because that pig was in that herd way too long. So I am really working with some really cool technologies out of Israel right now with Canada, and I see there's such a great opportunity. And then as Lamora and myself did a little bit of a session last week on Lamora's great interest on her news show, talking about the interest and the opportunities in partnering with companies, even in Mexico. So as we're talking about container shortages, well, there is no container shortages if you're manufacturing in places like Mexico. From Tijuana to Vancouver's door is 9 days by rail, and that's by boxcar. It takes the container situation completely out of the picture, because as we're talking about, everybody knows there's 400 and some ships sitting off the coast of China waiting to get unloaded. And with thousands of containers on every one of those ships, it's no wonder we have a global shortage of containers. And it's not going to get better because it's a rolling power outage. But going back to the Israel thing, the joint ventures that I'm seeing between the Dutch and Canada, Dutch, Israel, and Canada is immense. The opportunities of taking advantage of the free trade agreement that Canada has with Israel is a great opportunity. So as myself is in Canada, Lamore's in Canada, we would love to talk to you about other opportunities in joint ventures with using Israeli and Canadian technologies. It's amazing what's happening out there. So a lot of great opportunities, and that doesn't preclude anything from the USA, because a lot of our companies have USA offices as well. So it's a trifecta report between Israel, USA, and Canada.
Thank you very much, Robert. Thank you. And Maimun had a last question. Maimun is from the ED in Bangladesh.
Thanks, Sal. Yeah, thank you for a great presentation. I had a question that was more pertinent towards, I think, anti-trade liberalization, and how do we basically navigate around trade between those countries that do have bureaucratic issues or politically motivated issues where we can't do direct trade with Israel? So in this case, how would we navigate around the country of origin rules or re-export with other Middle East regions?
Usually you do it with the first side. For example, we have a trade with Jordan. So some of the suppliers just sending to Jordan, and then we send it from Jordan to Israel or from Egypt to Israel. So we just do it, we take third side to do it. Don't do it directly.
Now you can hear me, right? So,
Yeah.
Yael, thank you very much, and thank you for the great presentation. Thank you for asking all the questions that enlighten our eyes, and hope that if anyone needs connections, help with exporting or importing to Israel and from Israel, please contact Yael, and we will do everything to help you. Now, moving to our more celebrating part. I'm very happy to give every one of the executive directors that I'm working with during the passing year, and we're working very closely because the meetups and all the events that the Global Chamber has every day, almost every day we have several events. This is only one side of the Global Chamber, but the real work is behind the scenes with Doug and Cesar and all the EDs that are connecting their Metro members with warm connections and helping each other to fulfill all the business desires in order to shorten the gaps between countries and reach to global markets. So first of all, I want to thank you all that helping me to collaborate and helping my Metro members with connections. And I would like to start with Christian. Every ED will have 1.5 minute-ish to present himself, where is he or her from, and give some opportunities maybe in his region. And I want to start with Christian. That was my first Zoom call after I joined the Global Chamber. So Christian, my friend, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, amigo. First of all, I'm gonna put my celebration hat on and put some cake to celebrate with everybody. Bringing some cake. Christian Aguirre from Northwest Mexico. And so excited to be joining you here. Happy to have made so many connections via the Global Chamber. And one of the great connections you must have is Tal Silverberg, who has been very dynamic. He has come to the Global Chamber and made some shake arounds the Global Chamber for very, very positive reasons. And now we are learning so much. So located here in Northwest Mexico, I represent the Global Chamber in Hermosillo, and we are located close to the US border. And there have been many activities that we've been doing together. Actually, I was very excited that recently I received my physical e-card from Tal and his team, and I've already been using it, showing it around, and so excited for the way it works. And many, many projects to go work on. So we're here to support you from Mexico to anywhere in the world, and from anywhere in the world into Mexico. And very, very happy to be joining you. So thank you so much. Congratulations, Tal.
Thank you very much, Christian, and thank you for all the support. And also, I would like to say to our guests, I see that we have some guests here, that every executive director is actually a huge, they have a lot of connections. They like a junction with all connections, that road to connections everywhere, not only in their specific country. So we can help and they can help. So the Global Chamber has a lot to offer, and you don't have to speak fluent English. Like myself, my English is okay, not mother language, but we can manage because it's universal. You know, I always say that the trust and humanity is the currency of trading and doing business. So don't worry about your English if it's not perfect. Thank you very much, Christian. Moving to our amazing Katie Keith from London.
Thank
Love
you
the
so
accent.
much. Thank you. Well, you're probably expecting a British accent, but you'll get an Aussie one instead. So I've travelled all the way from Sydney to be here tonight. No, it's really lovely to be here, Tal, and we've collaborated over the last 12 months, and I can just see so many familiar faces of all the people that I've been collaborating with over the last 12 months and all the amazing projects we've worked on to deliver. And, you know, we're all about providing a platform to connect, learn and grow with one another. And Tal, you hit the nail on the head. We're putting the trust back into business. We're putting that back in. We're connecting people with our trusted networks and bringing people together in a way that's meaningful. And I think here in London, we've been on a growth journey, and we're looking forward to celebrating 2022. We've got some amazing members on board. We're ready to do business with the rest of the world. If you are looking at setting up offers, connecting more here in London, UK and Europe, please reach out to us. We've got some amazing people on the ground. We're meeting each month online. So I welcome you to join us to our monthly meetup. You know, we will be doing more next year on the Cross Metro meetup. You know, some of us have been working on some amazing trade projects together. We've got net carbon zero. There's all these big hitting topics that are out there at the moment with Susan and Maimun, and then we've got Ruby coming up with trade between Ghana and the UK. And I think what we're doing is we're working together to bring these topics to life and educate one another. And Yael, your presentation was fantastic, you know, learning more about what are the complications of doing trade. You know, there's so much to it. So it's nice to be a part of this community, and it's even better to be here tonight. Thanks, Tal.
Thank you very much, Katie. Thank you very much for your support. And moving to our dear friend in Ghana, Accra, Ruby, are you here?
I am indeed. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. It's raining cat and dog here in Accra. It's so apologies if the background noise is not pleasant. First of all, I would like to say congratulations, Tal. It's been amazing working with you. This past 1 year, you've been an inspiration. You've been more than a mentor to me, and all the support and encouragement. I very much appreciate that. And I look forward to us continuing working the rest of this year and in the new year as well. Thank you for the floor. Back to you, Tal.
Thank you, Ruby. And of course, Ruby is from Ghana, from Africa. She's a portal to everything that actually moves in Africa. So if you have any connections or you need any connections there, feel free to contact her. And I'm sure you that she's responding so fast that even I sometimes cannot keep the pace. Okay, moving. Is Debbie here? Debbie from Nigeria, are you here? I didn't see you, sorry. No. Okay, so going to India, our dear friend Aparna. Aparna, are you here?
Hey Tal, I'm here.
Hi.
All right.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing meetup, and I think it's so nice to see so many of you. I had a good presentation. Thank you so much for sharing all the information. I think perhaps Tal was one of the first few friends I made in Global Chamber, of course, from Cesar and reaching out to Doug always for guidance and support. But a very close friend, or a mentor in many ways, somebody I could reach out to and ask for support in every, and he was always ready to give a patient hearing as well as lend the support that I required. A complete technology geek. I mean, I think when I saw the e-cards and how it was, sort of transforming the way we connected, it completely changed my perspective of technology. When I for one, I run away from technology, but he made it seem so familiar and so easy to maneuver around, and I couldn't help but, sign up for it. So always a pleasure relating to you, Tal, and always a pleasure working with you. I think thanks to Tal, even I started off with my meetups in Mumbai, and the very first one being with Israel. So that was really an amazing one. He actually hand-held me through the entire process, and it was great putting it together. And after that, of course, it was nice meeting up with so many other EDs and connecting across the world and making such lovely connections. Even in Israel, I made a lot of connections as well. So thank you so much, Tal, for all the support. And anybody who's looking at doing business in India or is looking at any support that you need from India, I'll be more than happy to connect and collaborate. So please absolutely feel free, and hope to talk to you all soon again. Thank you, Tal.
Thank you very much, Aparna, for everything. And let's move to Suzanne. Suzanne is my first cross-metro meetup, if you remember Suzanne. So
Yes,
Suzanne
I
is from New York. She's a good friend, and she's the ED in New York City. Suzanne, you have 1.5 minutes. Go ahead, the stage is yours. Happy that you are here.
Thank you, Tal. Of course, I remember. I think we've had 2 meetups together, actually, 2 cross-metro meetups. So, and I agree with Aparna. Go to Tal if you have any tech questions. He's definitely the tech geek resource that I use. I just want to, reinforce this whole idea of the ports, because one of our active members is actually the Port of New York and New Jersey. So if people end up having any kind of situations where anything might get locked into the New York or New Jersey port, you can be in touch with me and I can probably get you some help with that. So just, as, Doug mentions, on the West Coast, we have the LA port. In New York, we have the New York, New Jersey port. So, anyone coming into the New York market that are looking to relocate or put a footprint, our active members, include major financial companies, insurance companies, government, real estate, lawyers. So all those people are there, active members. And, if you're looking to move money around the world, we have an active member that's a Forex company. We also have people who know how to help you do your workforce in the US if you're based in Mumbai or Israel or wherever, and you're looking to relocate and hire people. So all of those people are active members, and we do have a monthly meetup. We've been a little bit lax on that, but we'll be having one next month. Usually have them on the third Thursday of the month. And next month, actually, I'm doing another meetup with my dear friend Maymoon, the other tech expert that we have as our global executive directors. And we're going to be doing something on the garment industry between New York and Dhaka. So that's pretty much it. Thank you, Tal. Congratulations. You do a fabulous job. Your meetups clearly are always, a place where people come from all over the world. And I'm so glad to be part of it. And also, I have my new physical e-card, and I'm very excited to be using that as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Suzanne. And you mentioned Maymoon, so we'll go to Bangladesh. Also, Maymoon is one of the first EDs that helped me to enter the Global Chamber. So Maymoon, I'm honored that you are here, my friend. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Tal. It's just 10 minutes crossing midnight over here in Dhaka, and I feel like Cinderella because Tal has been like my fairy godmother to me. When we got into Global Chamber, I think the most revolutionary thing that Tal has brought about was the meetup concept. Short bursts of people meeting together from all across the whole world, and just as you have to find that perfect fit. With the shoe, I think Tal tried to do the same thing in terms of us business persons all over the whole world trying to get in touch. It's been an amazing ride. I did my first meetup encouraged by Tal. I think we've all, amended the format in different ways, industry formats. We did cross metros. But again, the brainchild did come from Tal and of course from the Israel Metro. So we all have to give him credit for that. The Global Chamber is an amazing community. As you've heard that we've all been able to communicate, collaborate, and grow together most effectively. I represent 2 metros in Bangladesh, the capital Dhaka and the Barishal Metro from the south, which is also a port metro. So if you would like to connect with one of the economy in the pandemic that has a positive growth rate from South Asia and the highest growth rate from South Asia, I'd be very happy to collaborate with you all. We've worked in numerous events over the past year. We've worked with our signature Young Global Leaders program for young people aged 35 and below, for women in global leadership. And I'm really happy to be, of course, working with 2 significant meetups, one with Susan, as she has mentioned, on the garment industry, and then with Katie later on in December. So we hope you can join the community if you aren't part of it, and we're always here to help. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Maymoon. Thank you very much for joining today. And jumping back to Brazil, to Phil, my friend. Phil is the executive director in Brazil. Phil, the stage is yours. Happy to see you here today.
Thank you very much, Tal, and I'm very happy to be here as well. Thank you for inviting me, and that's an honor and a pleasure as always. So I'm Phil Dizal, I'm the executive director of Global Chamber Joinville, southern Brazil. So we are located in the southern parts of Brazil, something like 600 kilometers, 400 miles south of São Paulo. And we actually went through our first anniversary last week. That's the 1 year that we have this chapter existing here. And that's a very good news for us. We are trying to develop the activity here, and part of the success that we can have is to get inspired from other colleagues, from other chapters in the Global Chamber. And Tal, I would like to tell you, as many others say as well so far, I've said so far, you're a real inspiration for all of us, because we need to learn how to develop new kind of formats of webinars, of course, so that it can be really important in terms of information in a short time. So that's a challenge that we all have, but it's very important. And what you do is exactly what we need to look for and to try to develop as much as possible. So thank you very much for that. And that's a very important day for all of us, and I was really happy to be participating today, Tal. So thank you so much again, and that's an honor to be with you as well as all with the other colleagues of Global Chamber and all our members. That we're going to try to make a much wider global tribe every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Phil, and thank you for joining us today. And of course, if somebody needs any connection in Brazil or Latin America, Phil is the address. Shankar, are you here, my friend? I just saw you. Yeah, Shankar is here. My dear friend Shankar from Ahmedabad, from India.
Ahmedabad, yes.
Ahmedabad, sorry. Yeah, go ahead, my friend. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I mean, first of all, congratulations. And what can I say? Because I haven't participated for many of your programs, but one thing I know, that the first flavor of Global Chamber, what Global Chamber means, what an executive director means, and the camaraderie we share, and the way you would respond as and when I contacted you is something that I hold very close, Tal. And I learned a lot just by watching. And thanks, you got me into eCard, which I could flash it to all my friends and contacts, and they would just totally get zapped. They say, where do you get this from? And it's one of the things that I want to really thank you for. And I would hear about you from Aparna and all the metro stuff that I got a little bit like I'm lagging behind, and I want to connect back and get into this whole thing. So today, I'm here just to thank you and be part of this program that you completed 1 year, and you have a certain style of doing things. Always, you invented and innovated the cross metro that became very practical for everyone. And this is where I am. And Tal, thanks again so much for including me in your cohort and group to celebrate. I'm so honored and privileged that I want to be more active this year with you and see how we can build some synergies.
Thank you very much, Shankar, for joining today. And thank you. And moving to, I think
thank you.
We covered, I think we covered everybody. Is Larry Hart here? Larry? No. Okay, so before we will move to Doug.
Tal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't sign up in advance. It's just Daniel. Should I introduce Central Asia or?
Not this time, my friend. I have like sorry. Next time I'll be more than happy to for you to present in our meetup. Okay. Sorry. So for before Doug will take the stage, I'll be more than happy if Cesar, that helps me all the time, and before I even manage to react, he's reacting before me. We'll take the stage. Cesar, thank you for all your support, and I'm happy that you are here. Cesar, you have 1.5 minutes, my friend. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Tal. Thanks for all the support you've given us the last year, and with the ideas. I think it's been a great compliment to have the meetups with the events that we were running before, and so it's been such a pleasure to be working with you and with your members and with the other EDs. I mean, keeping the EDs active is what we want. So to those that don't know me, I'm Cesar Trabanco from VP of Business Services at the Global Chamber. I'm located in Puerto Rico at the Caribbean. We are part of the US. So if you're already doing business in the US, or your product is ready to do business in the US, this is a market that's easy to target. There's nothing else different to do. So, and culturally speaking, can help you go to Latin America and places like Colombia, Peru, Panama, and so on. So I'm always available to help our members and EDs. I think I already put my contacts. I need to fill out your e-card. So sorry for that. And thanks again, Tal. Looking forward to more and more meetups.
Thank you very much, Cesar. And I just want to share with you how I got to the Global Chamber 2 years ago. I think it was almost 3 years ago, maybe. We've been in the States, and we met Doug in the headquarters. And we actually came to show him our D-Club and e-card system. But I was fascinated by the organization that called Global Chamber. I'm a networker since I was in very young age. I was also a BNI member, which I dearly care for them. I think it's an amazing group. And I have one of the highest directors of BNI here as a guest today, Ayal. And when I saw, I always wanted to go international. And when I saw Doug's running this organization called Global Chamber, I immediately hooked. And I said, hey, how can I connect to the Israeli metro? Because what I saw is a very high-end people with very high-level attitude that come to do business without all the fancy pose behind it, and really everything was on the table and coming from the heart. And he said, listen, we don't have any metro in Israel. So I said, here I am. And hopefully he was into it and gave me the honor to lead this metro. So first of all, Doug, I really appreciate it. Although we just started it before COVID started, nothing like COVID can stop us. So I'm really happy for this, and I'm honored to give you the stage today.
You're amazing, Tal. Thank you. I've of all of the executive directors, I think I've met 2 from foreign lands at the headquarters. Actually 3 if we count Christian Aguirre. Of course, he's been to SkySong. But the first one was actually Jagat Shah in Ahmedabad, and he's, as many of us know, just extraordinary, amazing, and a great partner with Schenker. And then Tal, we all know, extraordinary. And so I'd actually like to build off of what Schenker said. You know, his meetup idea brought the concept of meetings, and especially virtual meetings, into a very translatable, very relatable, and valuable. At the end of the day, it has to be valuable, a valuable way for members to connect up with each other. And I think executive directors could relate to what you put together, Tal. So thank you for being a leader, not just in your everyday work, but by doing things like this, the quote unquote simple meetup, which, you know, is elegantly simple and very easy for people to get value and to understand. So that's one of the really key things that Tal does on so many things, and the meetup is one example. I think another thing that we all are impressed with you, Tal, is what Schenker also mentioned, and that is your style. And I view that style several different ways. One is, you know, professional and ethical and kind and value centric and wanting to make things better. And I think a key part of that is something that I think some of us heard Hank Marshall mention, and I think it's a book where instead of a go-getter, which Tal is, he's a go-getter. He's also a go-giver. Meaning he's always giving, right? Always, you know, more out. The more you push out, the more I want to give to you. I think he's realized that the more comes back. And it's easy to say that, right? And we all struggle with that, right? It's like, keep giving and more will come back. And some days it doesn't balance and some days become discouraging. But that's why, Tal, you're such an iconic leader for me and for the team, that you're continually giving. And we don't see a down Tal. We always see an up Tal, always giving, always moving forward. And that's an inspiration. So thanks for the meetup idea and all the things you do. Thanks for being Tal. You're just extraordinary. And thanks for just always giving, because I do believe that is the way we'll all be successful. I definitely want it to be, you know, pervasive around the system of Global Chamber everywhere in the world. There are countries in the world where it's harder to understand that concept. So I think we do ourselves and them a service by introducing this concept, this approach to them. And everybody, you know, that I'm talking about other places in the world, but in the US, you know, it boggles my mind that there are people that still don't get it, or anywhere in the world, that this is not just a way of doing business that's successful, but it's a satisfying way to live your life. and Tal's been through a lot in his life, but it's clear that he's doing so many of the right things to leave a legacy and also impact all of us. So Tal, thank you for all of that. I actually wrote you a short poem for everybody. I said, for going forward, be good, do good, get good results, talk to Tal. That's my simplified poem for 2022. Let's be more successful, talk to Tal. Thanks, Tal, for all that you do.
Thank you very much, Doug, for the kind words. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today, of course. And before we wrapping up, I always wanted to summarize with some testimonials from our Metro members, because as you know, if you don't have people around you, you can't lead anyone and you can't do anything. So I first of all want to thank Yael and Dotan and Itzhak and Limor and Amir that are here, our Metro members. I see also here Eldar that join us, and all those people are helping us and helping me to promote the Israeli Metro, and we just started, and we have some great plans for the next upcoming year. And I do want maybe to hear some testimonials about what is Global Chamber, not only as an ED or connecting, but actual things that happens in the Global Chambers as a business view. So if Limor, if you can give like one minute and a half testimonials about your businesses and how Global Chamber helped you, I will be more than happy.
Thank you very much, Tal. First of all, congratulations. I think I joined around January. I'm based in Vancouver, Canada. And from the first moment I joined, after I think about 12, 13 years of networking everywhere, that was the best stimulation. You know how in network you usually see the same faces over and over, and here it was totally different, always new people, always fresh. So thank you very much, Tal, for this. The person who actually introduced me to the Global Chamber was Robert, and I'm originally Israeli, but he introduced me to an Israeli colleague, Tal. So that was amazing to find out how things circulating. I really appreciate it. Recently, we just started our my news channel. This is my company. We provide basically, we create TV shows for you, and this sits on your YouTube channel, and you host shows. And we also have our in-house show, which Robert was our host and going to be the host in the next few shows. And once I approached Doug and Cesar and Tal, I said, hey, I'm looking for people that are doing something different to solve the supply chain crisis, because this is that was the topic of the show. Right away, Doug introduced me to people, and Tal and Cesar, and we have in the next show, I'll share it right now, in the YouTube show, we have people from the Global Chamber. We have somebody from the government of Malaysia. Valeria, who is on this call, is giving us amazing, meaningful information, lots of knowledge. Everybody here were just amazing, being proactive and sharing information. So thank you very much. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to the next years, and I hope I'll be able to visit other chambers as well. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
I just shared on this chat, by the way, this is our YouTube show. Take a look. The only thing we need right now is for you to like and subscribe. That's it. And obviously, let us know if you want to be interviewed.
Thank you very much, Limor. I really appreciate all the help that you are providing me. And we have talks. Usually it's either your late night or my late night because the hours difference, but nothing stops us. So thank you very much. And we have one more minute to a testimonial. Eldar, are you here, or can you speak, or we'll take it for the next event that probably will take place in 2 weeks from now? Okay, Eldar is not available right now. So I think, Amir, are you connected to the call? Okay. So in this kind of positive vibe, I would like to thank you all for Amir, I see that you are here. Would you like to give like a 1-minute testimonial?
Yes, I'm very pleased of my short experience with Global Chamber. Tal has connected our company, which is involved with rare Dead Sea region plants and applying them to beauty and health products. And he's connected us to various people in the States, Greece, India, and I'm impressed by the overall system as well. And I look forward to cooperating with many of you guys.
Thank you very much, Amir. And one last thing that I always wanted to do, I have a special guest here that honored me today, Eyal Pinchasi. Eyal is one of the top leading leaders in BNI Israel. And I was a member recently. I love the format. It's different than the Global Chamber format, but I always wanted to ask him if he can say one good thing of the meeting today, because in the BNI we used to have this kind of line. So this time I am the one that asking you. So yeah, thank you for joining us today. And if you care to say something, I'll be more than happy.
We're also very happy. Thank you, Tal, for inviting me today. And it's awesome. I really like this meetup. And I have no further words to describe the connection with Tal, which is really amazing with his service and his innovativeness and his kindness. You might know that Tal in Hebrew means the dew, the night water, you know, that is free going to all the plants in small doses each night. It's a blessing. So I think our connection also is like that, in small drops of kindness. And I really like our connection, and we keep it even though you left the organization. And it has been before and will continue. And thank you, everybody. You seem like a great bunch of people. And if you care to join, to have a one-to-one with me, that's great. Let's succeed together.
Thank you very much, Eyal. And Eyal is one of the talented people that designs packages for companies all over the world. He's very modest. He shared his details. You can enter, you can see there the biggest companies in the world that he designed their packages in supermarkets. He's very talented, as you see his background behind. So thank you, Eyal. Thank you, everybody. I'm hoping that I know, but I do hope that we continue this kind of meetups. Ask your Metro members to join us. If they want the exposure in the Israeli Metro, you know that they're always welcome. Any help they need or you need to connect, we will be there. So if nobody has something else to add, we will go very happy to our weekend with a new exciting year that needs to come after.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congrats, Tal.
Well done, Tal. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Tal.
Great day, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.